On a Saturday. I'm not going to be here long. I'm just going to make my point and I'm going to fucking jet. Yeah. The select person. That's right. I make you work every day or enough. You go away for a little bit, then you always have to come back. You never learn your lesson. You never ever learn your lesson because you're so fucking stupid and thick headed. If you stop, this could stop. But no, you never do. You never do. Ever. You gotta keep pushing the envelope. You gotta threaten me. You gotta do this. You gotta do that. Um, but what you don't know is, oh wait, actually you do know it. I managed to find all this time to stalk, swat, threaten, and what's the other one? See, I can't even think of the other one. To swat, dox, threaten, and troll. That's right. I spend all this time. I managed to be spending all this time doing that, living in a truck in hot weather every day. I managed to be stalking, doxing, trolling, and threatening every day and terrorizing everybody. Yeah, I managed to be doing that every day out here. Meanwhile, while trying to survive the heat and stay hydrated and do all that, I'm somehow doing all that, right? Right? Yeah. Somehow I'm a robot too. I am a robot. I am. Hmm? I don't need to put his fucking name in, but he knows what I'm talking about. And he's so fucked up. He's focusing on some state law that says you could crap on someone's lawn or something like that, and they can't arrest you for that. He's saying stupid shit like this. Who would know this kind of shit? Who would pay attention to this kind of shit? If I had to go to the bathroom outside, I never looked at any law. I just went. And by the way, that whole idea was taken also. Um, so yeah, so to all you people, believe this guy. Believe him. But you're stupid too if you believe everything this fucking guy is saying. Just because I don't come out here and say a lot, it doesn't mean things are not going on. He had to end his stream yesterday because he was watering from his eyes. He had to end his stream. Look, I watched it. I was about to go live, but my connection yesterday would not let me talk. Hey, Laura, what's going on here? Yeah, so I'm talking about an individual here who is very fucked up, and he never gets the message that I make him work hard. I make him work the hardest that anybody has ever made him work. Just like Barter. Just like Barter. Yes. Totally. Yes. You want me to make this like, oh, every time I go live it'll be about drama? Because I'll friggin' do that again if I need to. I don't want to do it though. But I'm killing you off, David. I'm fucking killing you off. And I think you're too stupid to see it. You think your reign of terror is gonna continue. It's not. You're not even gonna make it to where you're gonna go. See, karma's gonna get you. See, something's gonna get you really bad if you try anything big. And I'm telling you right now, even if I'm not physically there to take care of it, or what you're trying to do, I'll tell you what, right now, things can be arranged. Tons of things can be arranged. The day that a state makes it not a crime to take a shit on somebody's lawn is the day that's... No, wait a minute, never mind. Oregon has been fucked up for the longest time anyway. I've actually been trying to get my parents to move out of there. This is why I've been traveling, to try to tell them about other places. That's partially why I've been doing this, because I want them to move the fuck out of Oregon. Just in general. So I'll say that right off the bat. Well, it might not be a full plan of mine, but it was a thought. It was an idea. It was definitely an idea, yeah. I can't control what people are going to do, but... Well, Elizabeth 17, this person saying all this fucking crap, doesn't know his ass from his elbow and thinks that there are no consequences because his parents never reprimanded him. See, my parents reprimanded me. They didn't reprimand him. That's the friggin' difference. They let this kid do whatever he wanted growing up, and he's an adult like a spoiled fucking baby, and he cries every time he doesn't get his fucking way. And people need to watch this. You know, I'm done convincing the people who believe everything he says, like all these new people he's trying to bring up here, that's like Sammy and whoever else, and what's his face there? Minnie Manson, I guess. Minnie Manson, yeah. I've been following Minnie Manson. That's exactly right. I've been talking to Minnie Manson myself too. I've been doing that. I've been somehow also doing that. I make my time to talk to Minnie Manson, trying to convince him and tell him the way to go. And yeah, that's right, Michelle K. I boss around like hell. I've bossed Michelle K. around because Michelle K. fucking needed it. That's fucking why. Michelle K. 's stupid. Michelle K. clearly was talking, or she says, hey, she wasn't talking to you and she was getting a lawyer, but somehow you knew about it. Somehow the word got back to you. You know who it was? Bergs. Bergs fucking is stirring up a lot of shit too. And then guess what? His blower on his fucking vehicle went. He's got to pay $500 for that. So I told you, things happen to people who mess with me. Things happen to people who mess with me. They think they're being slick, but they're not. They get caught every fucking time. And Bergs, you're behind the scenes doing a lot of shit. You're talking a lot of shit. You're doing. These people are dirty down here, and I'm the real truth. People are playing with me. You know what? I'll take credit for it though. I certainly will. Because I managed to SWAT dogs, I managed to harass, I managed to stop a bridge for a traffic in a bridge so Noodles couldn't get to work. I managed to do all that. I managed to do all that, right? 24, at least 16 hours of the day, right? I got to sleep a little bit here, right? And then I got to get charged up to do that again the next day, right? Plus get some beers and plus smoke and plus eat and go out to explore things, and I managed to be doing all that. Yeah, that's great, and I'm very impressed with myself for doing all this stuff to make all these people's lives a living hell when they've made other people's lives living hells. I mean, isn't that evident? Isn't that evident by their actions and what they say and what they want to try to make people believe on him? Minnie Manson Noodles doesn't give a fuck about you. He just wants to get to Andy Dick. He wants Andy Dick for fame. That's what he friggin' wants. Andy Dick, he's not getting Andy Dick. I'll get Andy Dick before him. I guarantee. I just don't try hard enough anymore. But somehow I managed to be doing all this stuff. Right? I'm losing interest in this. That's the real fact. I'm losing interest in YouTube. And right when I'm losing interest, someone always has to come back and stir the pot. It's seasons. I'm going to murder seasons, too. I'm going to fucking murder her. Yeah, I'll stop the threatening again. I'll fucking stop the threatening again and the promises. Because don't forget, I'm out west now. I can go up at any time now. You realize I'm on the west coast for now while I'm living in a truck? You realize that? You realize that? If you go there, you're not going to go there, dude. You're all talk. You're all fucking talk. You ain't going to Oregon. You're not even going to go to Oregon again, dude. You're not going to move there. I'll tell you that. You're certainly not going to move there. And even if you go there, so what? So what? But you know what? I'll convince you like you have all the facts. I'll convince you that you have them. Okay, you know where everyone is. You know all their names. You know everything about everybody, right? Because you're pretty smart. Because you're the best, right? You know everything. Yeah, you managed to pick up things very quickly on the uptake. You managed to be very smart, right? Told you, the people messing with me they're dying a slow death right now. Even if I hope they go faster, they're going slow, and they are. Things are gonna continue happening. Like you know all the agonizing pain Noodles goes through. It's because he fucks with people. Same with I'll throw Berg's name into this also. And by the way, Michelle, if Danny's watching, Danny, I like you, Danny. All right, I do. But Michelle K has caused some trouble. She has caused some friggin' trouble talking to Bergs, number one. I told her not to fucking talk to Bergs or Panka. I told her that. Even without Noodles in the picture, because you know why? It gets back to him. It fucking gets back to him somehow. Even if you weren't talking to him, I'll tell you what, it sort of sounds like you were in on it too. And Danny, she's going to be a lot of trouble for you. Because she told me some things in private, you know. She's interested in me, and I told her, you have to get focused here. I can't take care of you. I live in a truck. I'm barely trying to take care of my goddamn self here in my vehicle, in my traveling situation. She's like, oh, I understand. I don't think she was trying to pull something. She's trying to screw with Danny also. I'm telling you right now, Danny, she said some stuff to me. She said some stuff to me about you that I'm not going to repeat it all either. I'm not going to repeat it all. Something to do with her needs or something, but it's like, what? Thinks that I'm going to go to New Jersey? I'm like, yeah, if I go to New Jersey, I'm definitely going to hunt David Bulldog down. That's a definite trap for me. I'll definitely go to jail then, and I'm not ready for that right now. I'm not ready for that right now. But I'll do it. Hey, you want to invite me to New Jersey? Hey, it'll be such a temptation. I'll friggin' drop explosives at his friggin' door. Oh, I'll do it all. If I go there, you better pray I don't go through New Jersey. It's gonna be hell. It's gonna be fucking hell. It's gonna be a bloodbath. It's gonna be. That's why I'm trying to avoid it. Because I'm afraid of what I will do. I'm crazy. You get me in a certain domain around a certain person, I don't care how many guns they're gonna have. I'll do whatever, you know. And plus, he goes to work. I could drop something off right at his friggin' property. If I really wanted to, I could arrange it. I could get explosives or something in a box. Since he wants to say what he wants to do to me, I could have explosives delivered to his place. I seriously could do that if I wanted to, you know. Or I could do it myself if I went there. You know, that would even be better. He'd be at work, he'd be live streaming, he feels like he couldn't leave his house because I could be around, right? But you know what? Shh. I'm not going to tell him if I ever go to Israel. I'm just going to sneak up on him and surprise him. That's what I'm not even going to show him. I couldn't possibly show him. If I showed up in Israel, I'd have to be quiet as a mouse. I would have to be quiet as a mouse, number one, not announce my plans. Not announce my plans to shit on his fucking yard. Yeah, I'd have to be quiet as a mouse, number one. I couldn't be running my mouth. I couldn't talk to Camilo. I couldn't talk to Michelle K. Obviously, I can't. Because, oh, Bergs will find out. Bergs, you're a fucking loser, Bergs. You're horrible. You're another one who can't go away. You're another fucking one who can't go away. And then you friggin' blow it blue on your fucking thing, man. And you're still talking to Noodles. I fucking know you are. You're still talking to the son of a bitch. Yep, and then Michelle K is talking to you. Yeah, a nice cycle, but you can pretend all you want. I miss those shows where you used to spaz out on your live streams. I don't see those anymore. You're not yelling at your audience anymore. You're just yelling at people behind the scenes now. That's what you're doing. You used to yell at everybody in your chat. That was so funny, it wasn't? You were like screaming and then waking up your parents. I miss those days. I want to see Bergs do that again. That was so much. When he went behind the scenes, it got more lame. I mean, really. I mean, because now he's trying to hide that he's doing this shit, but he always gets found out. You know? Hey, Karen's old man, what's going on? See, yeah, Danny, I think you're a real cool guy, Danny. Okay? And I don't want to see you get screwed over by Michelle. Because she's looking at other guys. She's looking at other partners at the very least. And that's it. I mean, Gus FC. Yeah, I talked to Danny. He's a nice guy. Nice guy. Yeah. I'm not going to delve totally into it. But I talked to him about cigars and stuff. But then here's the thing that got me, okay? Michelle K was trying to put me through a lot of work to try to give information to her or her lawyer. That's where this all started. I'm like, you're an inconsiderate cunt. I'm driving. You could get me in a car accident by calling me when I'm fucking on the road here in Las Vegas where it's crazy as it is. I literally had a fit at her. That's how that whole thing fucking started. Right there. I told her, talk to me later. Do not call me within the next 15 minutes. Talk to me later. And nah, she has to fucking call me because she's a bird brain. And her lawyer was a bird brain too, because they couldn't find the basic information I was giving them. They're like, she's stupid. She's like, what? She can't find the title of his video, his latest video. I gave the test, like, oh, now we're gonna need the URL. I'm like, fuck you. Fuck you, Michelle. You're playing games. Fuck you. Like, I didn't give enough information. I didn't give the channel name. The most recent video, it would show up. Like, oh, she needs the name of the video. I give her the name of the video. Then, oh, you need the URL. Fuck you. I'm fucking driving and I'm busy here, you fucking selfish bitch. Yeah. Someone like that needs to be bossed around. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, I was. Yeah, I'll take credit for terrorizing Michelle K then, too. How about that? Yeah. That's apparently what's going on. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Go ahead. Believe that. Mm-hmm. The difference is I'm for real, okay? If I ever went to New Jersey, I would be quiet about it. I wouldn't say, but again, I wouldn't say it if I showed up there. I wouldn't announce it. I wouldn't announce it. Would I try to talk to some of the neighbors? Maybe. There's a way you got to do things, you know. There's a way you have to do things. Apparently, he doesn't know the art of doing things. But he does because, yeah, that's right. He's the smartest person on YouTube, right? Yeah. Uh-huh. The right way. Yeah, he's just jealous that I'm going to LA. He's jealous I'm going places out here. That's all he's freaked. But I'm still getting closer in case he wants to try anything. Mm-hmm. That's right. Oh, absolutely. You got it. Karen's old man, you got it. He's far from the smartest person on YouTube. Clap for that one. Yep, definitely. But he gets all these other stupid people believing his lies and shit. You know what? 35 viewers. Huh. Right now. And, yeah, so I'm just here to set the record straight again that he's dying a slow death because of everything he's trying to put me through. He's trying to work very hard to do this. He's working overtime to do all these things on here. And he's not getting nowhere but heart disease and all this other fucking shit. You know, keep doing it. Because you're so arrogant, your parents never fucking corrected you your whole goddamn life. And that's what fuels my threatening anyway. It fuels me getting angry at others because they were unchecked growing up. And I have to be that parent to them. It turns out I have to be like that parent to them and spank them very hard and fucking kick them in the face when they misbehave. That's what I do. I'm like the parent out here who will go to extreme measures to make others stop because apparently their parents didn't do that to them. Apparently their parents didn't tell them it was wrong. You know, and their parents are held extremely liable for the person he became. I don't want to hear that, oh, they might have lost control over him and all this kind of shit. No, that ain't true at all. They enabled him. They enabled him his whole fucking life. What I do in my adult life is my adult life. But when I was a kid, I got reprimanded way more than noodles. I can certainly assure that I certainly did. If I got into a fight with school or something like that, I had a father who would take the other kid's side because he thought I started it. Or some shit. I didn't have a father who backed his kid up no matter what. I didn't have that. I didn't. Like Noodles probably had that. Spoiled the fuck out of him. More than likely. So yeah, they should. I should get reparations from his parents. I literally should get a big check from Joe Buldo at this friggin' point. And I'll be on good terms with them if I can get a check. But if I don't, expect me to wreak havoc in New Jersey at some point. Because I am going back to the coast again. I don't know when. No idea. Could be 3 years, but I'm not going to forget all this. I'm not going to forget all this. Even if it's 3 years away. It'd be funny if it was 3 years away and I show up. It's going to be on my list. It's still going to be on my list for some reason. Even if Noodles dies, I'm even thinking about going through there. I wonder what kind of business I could have in that case. Huh. Huh. I'll have to think more about that. But no, I should be cut a check from his parents for all the shit he's tried to put me through out here. But since I haven't been getting a check from his parents, I'll tell you what, I've been slowly killing him. That's what's happening here. So you gotta pay me or your son's gonna die. Period. Pay me or your son's gonna die. That's how this is gonna go because he's dying a slow death virtually. I told you how I do things on here. I'll give you a hint. I'm a lot like Barter. I'm a lot like Barter. There's times I don't even have to work to make people's lives a living hell, and I'm still doing it. I'm still doing it, though. Exactly. His parents enabled him his whole fucking life. That's what's going on here. His parents enabled him, and he's not going to address these claims. He's never going to. He's just going to believe what he wants to believe. He never addresses any claims that I've made. He's always put them on the back burner when he's pressed. He acts like a coward when he's pressed for hard questions. Like he said this shit before. He never admits that he said it, but he said it. He's never been hard checked by anybody in his family. They're a bunch of pussies when it came to dealing with him. See, I wouldn't have got that. My mom had her own way of punishing me. My father punished me worse. I'm serious. I got told things were right and wrong when I grew up. Or else I would have been like Noodles if my parents didn't say anything to me. Because I was annoying other kids. I was a pest on the playground when I was a bad pest to people at times. I gave other people fits when I was little. But then I was told that wasn't the right thing to do by others. Okay? And there were people who had to, as a group, throw me over the counselor or something. Of course, before I knew trans was the thing. If I knew trans was the thing back then, I wouldn't have done that, probably. I wish I was a kid and I knew about my trans. This way I wouldn't be like that. And I could have got the ball rolling a little sooner. I had a friend who says I was a terror quite a bit. And said, I'm surprised you don't want to get involved in this anymore because for many years you even tried pushing me around. You tried throwing me in the water. You tried. So he was shocked to hear that, apparently. I'm like, was I really that bad, though? He's like, yes. So, no, I didn't get that white privilege like him. Absolutely not. No, I didn't get it. That's the whole friggin' point I'm trying to make. My father would side with the other kids if I got into a fight. He wouldn't go up to them and say I said, but he would yell at me like I was wrong. He did that at least. For sure. Yeah. Yeah, well, and plus I was around, I'll tell you what, Karen's old man, listen to me for a minute. I was around a lot of old folks growing up too. And I think I saw that as I got older too, and I kind of just, you know, I don't know if you could say mellowed out. In some ways, I have not mellowed out, clearly. But I'm saying, when I was a little kid, though, I was around old folks, several old folks in my family. People born in like 1910 was still alive when I was little. That were like the older people in the family. People from 1910 were alive, and it might have rubbed off on me in some ways. You know, man, they weren't even disciplinarians. They were just sitting there relaxed and shit. They weren't what I call disciplinarians. If they were, it was maybe when they were younger. But they were just sitting there more relaxed at like a family gathering or something. But I have people from 1910 that I was exposed to as a little kid. They were born in 1910, maybe even 1908. Bottom line is, I used to be around a lot of old people when I was young. Somehow I ended up around a lot of old people in my family, maybe other people's families. I forget the whole story, but I just know my whole life, even as a kid, whether I was in a nursing home with my mother or something, or I was around old people when I was little. Yes, I was around old people. I was. Yep. Quite a bit. I mean, in fact, so much so that to my 7-year-old classmates, I mentioned Frank Sinatra. I'm like, hey, do you know Frank Sinatra by chance? Or Victor Moan? Have you ever heard of them? Does anyone in your house play? So I assume these other kids maybe hung around their grandparents because I did. Or people who are older. Or they at least had enough old people around them, like my great uncle, who had all these catch sayings for like punishment, you know? Like for a kid who's spoiled or something, right? He would tell me all these lines, these lines that he used to use, and he didn't even have children, this guy, but he had all these lines and everything. He was like born something like 1918, maybe 20. I don't know. And it's just when I was young, I was around a lot of old people. Okay, so maybe I learned respect from it to a good point. Or at least it eventually sank in, you know. Even if I was this bad kid, certain people said that I was. I had uncles, my uncle, who's not alive now, not the one who's alive, but I had another uncle who said that I annoyed everyone that I came across. You annoyed your cousins. Yeah. But he literally told me in the face, you annoyed this person, you... he told me that. So I had people telling me I was annoying other people at the very least. Noodles didn't have anyone letting them know of what they were doing. That's the freaking thing. I pretty much got the upbringing Noodles should have fucking had. Really. But didn't. Because he's a spoiled fucking rich bitch. With a father who's like a millionaire or something. Right? Even if I've had parents who did well, we didn't start off that way. Well, I mean, it was like lower middle class. I was lower middle class when I was young. I was in neighborhoods with derelicts and drugs. I was in, well, maybe they were families, but they were just kind of, you know. I had a babysitter who smoked pot. My mom ended up hiring a babysitter that ended up smoking pot. I mean, and not even watching me or something like that. So, when I was little, I'm just saying, you know, I didn't have that. And plus, my parents divorced at 9 years old. I have nowhere near the privileged upbringing that this motherfucker has had. Ever. I'm the true underdog. Anyone wants to say they're the true underdog? I keep hearing channels, they like to pride themselves on being the underdog. Rosie being one of them. And probably Noodles being another one. You know. Making it like, oh, you're supposed to support the underdog no matter what. I'm the one YouTube hates, so I'm the one to support. That isn't true, though. There's a reason they take his channels down. He's wondering why other people don't get shit videos taken down, but he gets them taken down because it's his character. And the algorithm knows that he got flagged so many damn times. He thinks it's a conspiracy against him now. Meanwhile, the world was conspired to make me fail. I really feel. I've always had forces chasing me my whole life, it seems like. Watched in the background until I failed or whatever. Seems like that's the life I live. And now Noodles is applying that to his life on YouTube. Saying that YouTube never gives this guy a chance. YouTube takes all this shit down. There's a reason for it. And by the way, Minnie Manson got brought in by Music Biz Marty. Minnie Manson didn't get brought in by Howard Stern. Minnie Manson got brought in by Music Biz Marty. And yes, that's right. I talked about going to the Marilyn Manson community 5 months ago to get more followers. That I was going to go to the Marilyn Manson community. And now we got Minnie Manson. I told you I'm very influential. I'm very influential in how things happen around here. What's wrong? Hey, Southern Girl, are you cool with Nicolina now? Are you literally cool with that bitch? How come you were in there the other night? How come you were in there the other night? I saw you in there acting all nice with her. What the fuck's that all about? Huh? I was also told a couple things, too. That you were looking to possibly move other people into your place. Making me not feel so special, maybe. Because you hate Mama T. I don't even know who the hell Mama T is. It seems like you're too overly animated right now, so I don't get that at all, frankly. I'm trying to get to the bottom of this. But you don't like Mama T that much that you sided with Nicolina, a certified fucking scumbag out here. Somebody you know that I have issues with, and that could possibly cause a problem with me. Huh? Ella Bella, her rodeo. Her rodeo. By the way, I had to check someone when I was out yesterday, too. I was looking at women's clothes outside at some Mexican bitch with blonde hair. Yeah, trying to look white and trying to be white with blonde hair. Okay? That's what they'll do. They'll dye their fucking hair blonde. Yeah, to make people think that they're white and shit, and they ain't. I'll tell you what, I was looking at women's clothes outside at this store, right? And she was outside. She kept pointing me to the men's clothes when I was looking at the women's clothes. I'm like, I know what the fuck you're trying to do here, you fascist. I literally walked away talking shit to her also. I know what the fuck you're trying to do here, bitch. You're just a racist, fascist type. She was trying to point me over to the men's clothes when I clearly had interest in looking at the women. It's slick tricks that they do. The slick shit that these white supremacist types try to do. And that's what they are, Mexican white supremacists. And then you know what her answer was? Okay. Like being snide with me. So yeah, that's what I spend my time doing. Yeah. I terrorize everybody. I only terrorize people in the name of equal rights and true freedom. If I ever do anything like that, yeah. Well, Southern Girl, I'm starting to think you talk the same way to other people now, too, so you're not making me feel so special. So right now, Southern Girl, I'm going to remove your moderator. Anything else to say? Do you got anything else to say right now? Told you, don't screw with me. Don't screw with me. It will come back tenfold against you. I know when people are screwing with me. All right? So now you belong to them. You belong to them now. No, you're not going to... No, come off it. You're overly talking, you're overly animated, and you can't be trusted. Anyone who talks overly animated to try to convince someone is trying to pull a con on somebody. So no, that's it for you. You're out of here, Southern girl. They now own you. See, that's how I handle people, right there. That's how I handle them. I want nothing to do with you, then you just fucked yourself right there. so, so that's it. I'm not going to let people fucking tell me what to do. I'm not going to allow people to schmooze their way into me. And someone tried warning me about Southern Girl before. I guess they were right. I guess they were right after all. If this person wants to buy property somewhere in Tennessee or something like that and have people move into their place, but made it sound like she offered me the deal exclusively or something, and then apparently she's offered other people this kind of a deal. Or something like she's going around telling all these people that or something like that. It's a scam. She's scamming people. That's what she's doing. She's out of here. She's not welcome here anymore. Lose my number, bitch. There. Right. Just Stu, you can learn from me. Oh, good. So you understand in your community too, there's a lot of white supremacists in your community there. I don't know about Houston, Texas, but I know everywhere else I went to, like Denver, Las Vegas, Florida, I've run into I know that much. A Mexican girl with a blonde wig yesterday trying to tell me that the men's clothes are over here when I kept looking at the women's clothes. Don't think I don't catch on to shit like that. In IP2, there are a lot of races. I know there are. And how would you rate Andy Dick? Do you think Andy Dick's a racist? Karen's old man? Because something about Andy Dick now has got my attention. I know he was in movies in the past. Andy Dick was in what movie was he in? Office Space or something? He was in what movie? You're in Houston, okay. It's a little different in Houston, actually, from what I've heard. But yeah. All right, but who is ML Malt? ML Malt is a Southern Girl sock account now. Why would the sock account be talking just like her? That's the thing. That's what's going on here. ML Matt is Southern Girl. It smells like goat cheese in the hood. What? Andy Dick is very complicated. He's almost. Hey, I got something to tell you. That Johnny What guy is like an older version of Andy Dick. That's what it is. Noodles is trying to get Andy Dick to move into his place. That's what's friggin' going on. He's trying to get Andy Dick to move into his place. He wants Andy Dick to move in and help him financially or something. He sees some payoff by getting Andy Dick. We're going to make sure he doesn't get Andy Dick, though. Andy Dick is going to be Andy Dick, and Andy Dick's staying where he gets the most attention, obviously. He's a drug addict. I know Andy Dick is a drug addict and an alcoholic. But he's very complicated, too. You're right. He could be cool, and at other times he could be very temperamental. You don't know what you're going to get with Andy Dick, I don't think. Yeah, that I know. He's a shock jock type. You know who I'm surprised that Noodles didn't make a run for? I'm surprised he hasn't made a run for Dr. Dirty John Valby or anybody like that. All these famous people who, well, what's that other fucking guy's name? Not Pauly Shore. What's his name though? Opie and Anthony. The Jerky Boy. What about the Jerky Boys? They're from New York, right? I'm sure he'd try to get his fingers in the Jerky Boys. I mean, but then again, they wouldn't let him near him. So, no, he wouldn't give Noodles. He wouldn't. But it's going to piss Noodles off when I get Andy Dick's attention, though. I'm going to get Andy Dick's attention, though. I'll do it before Noodles. I'll tell you that right now. I'll do it before him, and I won't even try to do it. In fact, I wouldn't be shocked if Andy Dick stumbled across my channel and watched. Probably has. Actually, where I'm in Las Vegas and shit, I'm sure he's watched. Here and there. Someone probably showed it to him. Music Bismarcky being that commonly. Probably showed Andy Dick. Or at least got in touch with him enough on Messenger or something, maybe, or the side chat, maybe the comment section of YouTube, something like that. But I'm sure Andy Dick will give me attention before he gives Noodles attention. I'll tell you that right. That's how to get Noodles going. Mention Andy Dick. Now you're gonna pull Andy Dick, and he ain't gonna get Andy Dick. That's all there is to it. I don't know who these people. I know who they are. Andy Dick is like an 80s, 90s. I saw him in 90s movies. I remember that. I think Office Space, I think, was one of them. Some movie like that. Some offbeat humor movie like Office Space he was in. I can't think of the name of the movie. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. I think he was in Chuck and Buck. Or The Good Girl. I think he was in Chuck and Buck. That's right. One of the best movies around. Chuck and Buck. One of the best indie movies to ever be fucking made. You ever hear of Chuck and Buck? Think what comes to mind when you hear the movie title Chuck and Buck? What comes to mind? Yeah, probably. So Andy Dick, if you're watching, I'm on to it. Something about Mary. Oh, it was something about Mary, wasn't it? It was that friggin' guy who was in The Good Girl, and he was in Chuck and Buck. It had to have been this. There's something about Mary that might make sense. Harold and Kumar goes to White Castle. Okay. You know what movie I liked? Ghost World. Anyone remember Ghost World with Steve Buscemi? That was one of my favorite friggin' movies. Ghost World with Scarlett Johansson and Thora Birch and Steve Buscemi. I love that movie. A girl was looking at her dress or something, right? She's like, that was the one that I lost my virginity in, that dress. And then the girl's like, why would I give a fuck about that? Well, in real life, not for nothing, something like that would piss somebody off. They're looking at a dress, and then the person selling it to you is like, I had my period in that one, or I lost my virginity in that dress. But she would say these things to change her mind and not get the girl to buy it or something. Or something. Or she might have told her a fact, and then that it still scared that person away from buying it anyway. But the shit the people do in the movies doesn't work in real life, okay? When you try it in real life and you try to antagonize people, it don't work in real life, okay? And that's what people like Noodles need to understand, that life is not the movies. People get angry at those antics. And those antics have consequences. And even Andy Dick knows this too. The difference is Noodle doesn't know this. Andy Dick knows this. Andy Dick knows that, at least if you're in real life doing this shit, it has consequences. You have to keep it more to the comedy or the jackassery of being filmed and getting famous for stuff like that. But to fuck with everybody in real life like this, it's not a comedy. And I don't care if you're trying to make a documentary or what, that you're going to be the documentary. You're going to be the documentary. You're going to be the one the documentary is going to be made about. It's going to be for the most negative attention, and everyone watching is going to be like, wow, what a fucking creep. That's the documentary Noodles is going to have. It's going to be all about himself. He's going to get a documentary made about him for all the vile stuff he's doing on here. And social media will focus on this guy. He's hoping that that's the case, but he may not even get that recognition from YouTube. But he's trying real hard, and he is that kind of person. But it's just YouTube may not give him like the same recognition Charles Manson, because you still gotta be pretty influential to be as bad as somebody like Jimmy Savile or Charles Manson or somebody like that. Oh, by the way, for the record, I might as well just say, while I'm swatting, doxing, and terrorizing people and trolling people, even though I manage to live in a truck in hot weather every day, okay? Even though I'm doing all those things, right? I'm going to tell you something, okay? I'm going to tell you something very special, okay? What was it? That's right, what was it? What was I going to say? Oh, that's right. Jimmy Savile's great. Jimmy Savile is great. He's one of the all-time greats. And people got jealous of Jimmy Savile. So yeah, on top of all that stuff, I support Jimmy Savile also. On top of all that stuff I've been doing. And Nick Bravo. And Nick Corky Bravo. Yep. That's right. And sometimes, you know what's funny? Sometimes when you support somebody, right? And you're like, I like this guy. I think he's cool. He's funny. And then these people, oh, you need to be aware of all this other stuff he's done. I'm like, what stuff? That you saying he did all this stuff, but I'm telling you right now, there's this guy in New Jersey worse than him. I guarantee it. He's worse than Nick Bravo. But then they come up to you, oh, this guy, he stalked women, he's a racist, he threatened, he scammed people in real estate. He might have did some of that stuff in the past, but I don't see him doing that now so much. It's like, what's the guy doing now? It's like you're hopping on what he did then. And it's documented what he did. But in the present day, it doesn't seem like he's doing any of that. It seems like he's just doing his lives, and people are still focusing on his past, like what he used to do. What if people change also? I mean, what if there is that chance that maybe he isn't changing 100%, but he's just less active than he used to be? And you're still going at him like he's still doing those things, even years later. There will even come a time when it's like, if you want to go after someone, go after this other person, is what I tell them. But no, they all hate Corky Bravo. They all hate this friggin' guy out there so much that they'll focus on stuff he did 10 years ago. Or more. Or since 2005 even. Bella, what the fuck's going on here? You keep deleting your comments. You are leaving. You are leaving. You're out of here. Hey, don't block Stewie, all right? Don't block him. Hey. Don't. I'm not in the mood to give wrenches, though, but don't stop doing that. Whoever's doing that. All right. But yeah, Andy Dick's going to discover me before he discovers Noodles. But funny thing is, Johnny What reminds me of an older Andy Dick in a weird way. I don't know what it is, but he's going to lose Johnny What soon. See, Noodles, you keep pushing your luck and people are going to go all around you. Your world's going to come down. You're going to come down. You're dying slowly because you're fucking with me. As well as everybody else. You're dying slow because of it. Is that right? I'll give you a moderator then. All right. I know you're being sarcastic. I sent you an email. Don't know if I got it or not. I I haven't checked it lately. I don't know. Techno Warrior. But yeah, if it has anything to do with Southern Girl, well, I dealt with that situation right off the bat. So, saying, all right, D boss, all right, okay. I'm not reading every comment. I'm doing my chat here. All right. If you want me to read every comment, this is what it would look like, okay? Um, Milton John is related to Weird Al Yankovic and Mel Gibson. LOL. He is their offspring. JK. No way. Just CV. He's not really famous here. Did you see him on Fat Michael Jackson cover? Wit. Tell your bum mods to take them inches and don't block me. But Ghost of Stewie, one thing you have to realize, I'm going to demod you right now, all right? Because I don't allow misgendering in here. Call me she, all right? You have to call me she. You have to refer to me as she. Is there an understanding with that? You are de-wrenched for the time. Is there an understanding with that? Yes or no? You have to call me she, the proper pronouns, what I like to be called. If you're going to be in here participating. Is that good? Is that all right with you? Lady Melton is what I prefer to be called on here. That's it. No Weird Al Yankovic comparisons and all that. You know, I get that enough as it is, you know. And that's not what I try to go for. I mean, you don't call Rosie O'Kelly Steve Tyler, do you? You don't call Rosie O'Kelly Steve Tyler, right? Who calls Rosie O'Kelly Steve Tyler? Same thing, really. All right. Look, how many people do that in actuality, though? How many people actually do that? They literally go to Rose and say, oh, Steve Tyler, like in Rosie's chat. They literally do that. I haven't seen it. Maybe a couple reaction channels briefly mention Rosie. But that's about it. So, all right, well, I'm done with the live right now. I gotta go. I gotta conserve my power on my phone. Oh, that's right. Even though I have to conserve my power on my phone daily, I'm somehow trolling, I'm toxic, I'm harassing, I'm swatting everybody. Yeah. The truth is, my hint, the closest I'm gonna give it is, if I'm not Barter, which there is a possibility, I'm just like Barter. All right. With all that being said, I'm gonna end the live stream. If I did not get my point across very clearly about what I talked about in the whole entire live stream, then, and you don't get the hints, you don't get the messages, then you're much more fucking stupid and more retarded than I ever thought. And you never got corrected growing up. And there's no hope for you at all. You are a sad, sick sack. And Seasons has to go to support your stupid fucking ass as well. Or in Abby's words, your fucking dated ass. All right.